What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Corey, and today we're talking about the holidays. That's right, it is time to start buying gifts for the loved one in your life, whether that's your kids, your spouse, or just a family member. If you've got a drummer in your life, it's kind of hard to find good gifts that aren't going to break the bank, but they're still going to find really fun, they're going to appreciate and use and actually get to play with. So I went ahead and did a little research since I'm a drummer myself, and I found a few things that I would appreciate getting as gifts, and I wanted to share those with you because I think you can find some cool things here that you might be able to get them that I think they'll actually have some fun with. So let's check it out. So almost all of these items can be found online, whether that's Amazon, Sweetwater, Guitar Center, you name it. It should be online somewhere. You don't even have to leave your house to get most of these delivered right to your door. So make it easy. Go ahead and check out online, and I'll leave some links down below to all of these items. Now, if you guys can, before we get started, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I appreciate all the positive feedback I've gotten the last few months and all the support I've been getting from people on all of the new content and the new formats that I'm putting out. So really appreciate you checking this one out. Let's go. So the first gift we're going to talk about are wire brushes. Now for me, I love my wire brushes because they give me a new form of inspiration at times when I hit the plateau in my rock or metal drumming. A lot of times I'm working on grooves, coordination, a little bit of speed and conditioning, but with the wire brushes, it makes you lay back a little bit. It puts you in a more jazzy perspective, so it's a little slower, more controlled, a little bit groovier. And for me, sometimes I need that inspiration so I can clear my head, get back to the basics of drums, really feel the kit, just have a little bit of fun, don't take things so seriously, and then I get back to working on the stuff that I want to work on later once I get back into a good headspace. The other good thing about wire brushes is they're extremely cheap, and you can get a lot of pairs of these for, $8 to $10. And for kids, for adults, they are something that I think everyone will enjoy when they learn how to use them right. They may go through a few pairs of these because they are very easy to ruin and bend, but once you get into a habit of practicing with these the right way, they're extremely fun to have, and I think a lot of drummers will appreciate getting these. So the second gift idea is going to be a hand pan or a steel pan. They're extremely popular right now. They're not incredibly expensive. You can get them in different tunings, but they are really cool, and I'm sure you've seen one before. You've probably heard one before. They have a cool learning curve because they're not incredibly difficult, but it's something kind of like a guitar where you can learn a lot of the basics. You can have a lot of fun with it, learn how to play a lot of different songs, and yeah, they're just a really cool creative gift that as a drummer myself, since I don't own one, I would love to find one of those under the tree, but it's one of those things that at the same time, it's just something cool. It's just something that's kind of a conversation piece, and I think once you learn how to play it, you'd have a lot of fun with it. So I think a hand pan or a steel pan for most drummers would be a very niche thing that they would appreciate, and they might not know it yet, but I think it's something that they would love in the end. So yeah, check those out too. Third gift idea is going to be a rain drum. Now, if you don't know what a rain drum is off the top of your head, you'll see one here in a second, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You've definitely seen them around because they're extremely popular right now. And what's cool about these is that they're waterproof. So a lot of people will actually put them outside in their gardens so that when it rains, the rain hitting the rain drum will actually create music. There's a few different notes on there that the notes are pretty easy. They're simple, and you can play easy little melodies if you have mallets or sticks. But when you put them outside, they just kind of sound chimey, and they kind of just make a whimsical sound because there's really no rhyme or reason to the melody. It's just kind of pretty and relaxing, and it's something that I think a lot of people are using now as kind of a therapeutic method to sitting outside on their back porch, hearing a little bit of music, hearing the rain, and yeah, it's just relaxing. But you can actually learn how to play songs on them. Whether or not you're a guitar player or a drummer, you can actually have a lot of fun with this thing because it's very musical, but it's also simplistic. So I think a lot of drummers out there would appreciate it, and this one you can definitely fit under the tree. It's pretty small, and they may have no idea what it is when they first come out, but when they go look at it on Wikipedia and they Google how to actually play the thing, I think they're going to have a lot of fun. So check it out. So number 4 is going to be a cajon. Now, if you don't know what a cajon is, it's basically a rectangular wooden box, and it gives a couple different percussive sounds that you can play, like a kick drum or a snare, but to an acoustic set, so it's not very loud. And basically the way you play it is that you tap on the front, and if you tap down near the bottom, normally it'll give you a kick drumish sound, a bass frequency, and if you tap towards the top, there's normally a snare coil right behind the face, and it'll be able to snap kind of like a snare drum. Now, it'll be a little bit more subtle, but you can play around with those things and add some percussive elements to an acoustic set. So if you're playing playing with 2 acoustic artists, you can actually have a cool stripped down set without having to bring a full drum kit and still have percussion involved in the set. You can also add shakers, things like that, or tambourine to it. Normally that's just going to be hand percussion and you can still play it with one hand, but it's basically just something you sit on and have a couple different things that you tap and do hand percussion on, and you can add a lot of percussive elements to an acoustic set. So they're really cool, and if a lot of drummers, they know what they are but they haven't played one, I think they would love to get one for Christmas, because it is a really cool thing, and once you actually have a little bit of fun with it or you play with some people with it, it's addicting. So I think a lot of people would appreciate that. Definitely check it out. So the last gift idea is going to be effect cymbals. Now, effect cymbals are really cool because this can be anything like a splash or a mini chino or even a clap stack. Now, the reason these are really cool is because they add a completely different dynamic of sound to your drum kit other than just your crash cymbals, your ride cymbals, your hi-hats, things like that. This is going to be something that's really fun and addicting to play because some of the tones and the sounds that you can get out of these are incredibly unique, and they're going to add a lot to the dimension of your drumming because you can start to add some things in there that's going to give you a lot of ear candy and make it sound like your drumming is really more complicated than it actually is. They're really fun to add because especially in metal and in groovier stuff, people are having a lot of fun with them now. They're coming up with creative ways to incorporate them, and as a drummer, for me, I think my drumming got to the next level when I started to incorporate more than 2 effect cymbals. Most drummers now know about these things, but if you're somebody who's just learning a lot of rock and roll or somebody that's just kind of grooving out and getting the basics down, you probably have no real practice with these yet, but if you start to incorporate them, they are extremely useful, and they're probably going to inspire you to want to push yourself into the next realm of your drumming because they're so fun to use. The other good thing is they're cheap. They're not very expensive because they're not big cymbals, and normally you can just get an extra boom arm or something, stick it to another cymbal stand, and then that'll give you instant access on your kit without having to buy too many pieces or get too complex with the setup. So they're really cool. Definitely check out effect cymbals. There's a lot of different ones, so they may not always be called effect cymbals, but do your research, see what some of the bigger effect cymbals that people are buying nowadays are, because there's a lot of different ones out there. And yeah, see for yourself if you can do some research, find something that you think your loved one would enjoy playing. And yeah, I think as a drummer, that's definitely one of my favorite gifts to get each year. So I think that would be, in my opinion, if you had to pick one out of the group, that would be the most useful thing, because a lot of those people are going to put it on their drum kit on Christmas Day and have some fun with it. So yeah. Well guys, I appreciate you stopping by and checking out this video for 5 gifts that you can get the drummer in your life for the holidays. If you guys can, please leave a comment down below and share the video with some friends, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.